are you doing today, Jason? Thank you so much for meeting with me.
I'm good. How are you calling?
I'm very well. I'm excited to chat a little. So, this is going to be a Zoom room. It's just going to be a little bit about you, getting to know you, and your experience with canvassing. So, to
Okay.
start it off, I was looking at your Instagram and you're a Ralph Lauren ambassador. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, I guess I should ask, am I allowed to cuss on this or should I be
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, okay. I get a lot of shit about it from my friends, but it's more so
Okay.
just like teasing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No one really actually cares that much. I got referred to it by a friend of mine who also goes to Northwestern, who's doing it with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been pretty fun. I mean, it's a really low stakes thing. They just send me a bunch of free clothing and pay me to make a little bit of a fool of myself on Instagram. So like I can't complain, you know what I
I
mean?
mean, not a bad gig.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice clothes. I mean, I wouldn't be making fun of you for that. But
Hey, what's up?
how long have you been doing that?
I started I think the beginning of this spring, so like sometime around March, April.
So do you want to tell me a little bit about you and your experience at Northwestern?
Yeah, okay. I can give you the background spiel. So my name's Jason Wood. I'm going to be a senior at Northwestern University, studying journalism, marketing, and design. And I've enjoyed myself for the most part. There's obviously ups and downs, but it's a cool place. I've met good people. I think the people are the reason I've stayed here.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
what got you started with Campus Inc? Weren't you one of the first student designers at Northwestern?
Yeah, so I actually started it here at Northwestern
Oh.
semi-accidentally. So my older brother went to U of I,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I think an email that was supposed to get sent to him somehow got sent to like my dad or family's
Mm-hmm.
email, whatever it was, when I was still a senior in high school. And my dad knew I liked graphic design, I liked fashion, so he sent it to me and he was like, "Oh, you should apply to this. Like it's designing clothes. That seems like something you'd be interested in." So as a senior in high school, I applied to Campus Inc., not fully knowing what it was. And then I think I reapplied like freshman year fall when I got here.
Mm-hmm.
And I got hired in like the beginning of December. So it started with just me, and then I brought on Trey and Carly later on, and it's kind of grown from there, our happy little family. But yeah, I got started just kind of out of coincidence, and it worked out pretty well because like I was making shirts for my fraternity, and I ended up taking over as apparel chair, and I've held that since like halfway through freshman year, um, when I rushed and pledged. So I've had a good time.
So is your brother a part of was your brother a part of Campus Inc as well or no?
No, he was not, but he's in Brock's pledge class. He's really good friends
Okay.
with the people who used to work there. Like Yaz knows him. So he's somewhat connected.
So are you still a student designer because you're going to be a senior?
Yeah, I'm more so managing the Northwestern campus now with Carly.
Okay.
But I
Hmm.
still do some designs just for like my own personal clients.
Nice. What is your favorite order you've ever done for Campus Inc?
That's a tough one.
Or
I would
like the
probably
most
say,
sales?
yeah, I think it's a bit of a double whammy. Okay, I'll give you two answers. My personal favorite was our rush shirts that I did last year. They're like these light blue space themed ones that were pretty cool. I have like four in my closet over there.
What
Uh,
fraternity are you in?
I'm a Phi Psi.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the one that went the best was I made these like Snoopy Phi Psi hoodies,
Mm.
that everyone loved, and that people on campus were like, "Oh, can you do a reorder? Can you do a reorder?" Like I missed it on the initial order, and I was like, "Yo, I sent this out for like 2 weeks. I'm
You
I'm
keep
not doing
bothering
this
people
yet."
about it, and then they suddenly want. I'm like, you saw me texting.
Yeah,
And you were like,
exactly.
nah. Now you want it. Did you end up doing a reorder?
Nah, because I didn't think. I mean, it's a lot of people who are like peripherally involved. There we go. To where it's like, they see one of my friends wearing one and like, oh, I really like that. I want
Mhm.
one. But you kind of know they're not actually gonna buy one. You know what I mean? Uh,
That's similar to me. So I go to University of Iowa and I did an order for this bar that closed called Martinis. And
okay.
I kept promoting it. I was like, everyone buy it, buy it. I made a lot of sales, but of course afterwards when everyone got the sweatshirts, they're like, wait, do you have extras? I want one. I'm like, no, I could not have posted this more. Like, if you wanted it, you should have got it. Not redoing
How it
it.
always goes.
But so you were in Canada with Campus Inc. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, Canada was probably one of the most fun weekends of my college experience. It was a really like out of the blue random time to an extent because it was at the time it was just myself and one of my friends at Campus Inc. here at Northwestern. So it was just his name was Trey. So it was just Trey and I who went from Northwestern, and I knew like one or two people that just like kind of I knew from like a friend of a friend who went to U of I, you know what I mean? And obviously I knew Steven and Adam and Emily. Um, but like that was it, you know what I mean? So when I got there, all the U of I kids, they have like that U of I mafia. They all know each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and not to say that they weren't like welcoming and friendly to everyone else, but like obviously you're gonna hang out with your friends. So like all the U of I kids kind of hung out, and then the rest of us who didn't go to U of I and who were just other campuses kind of started to become friends. And it was really fun. I did learn a lot from like the conference that we did, but also it was a really good time to just meet all of these new designers on the team, to become better friends with like Steven, Adam, and Emily and the rest of the managerial staff who were there. And also just to like, I don't know, mess around and go to a casino and go to the bars with everyone. Like seeing Steven get bottle service is something I will never forget. And then proceed to order like 4 Domino's pizzas at a club. Like that,
Oh
it
my,
was hysterical. You know what I mean?
amazing.
It was really cool to be able to meet like some of the older, because at that point I was a freshman, going to be a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool to meet some of the seniors who still are around now. Like I met Jeff Urban there, who's a really big part of Campus Inc. now. Um, so it's nice to feel like I'm a little bit of the in crowd to an extent, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that is. But it was a really good time. I wish we still did it.
So with going to Northwestern, obviously there is a lot of schoolwork involved, very prestigious school, but would you say Campus Inc. was like the perfect job for you because you were able to pick your hours? How did you balance your schoolwork with Campus Inc.?
Yeah, a Campus Inc. for me was like the ideal college job just because it's super flexible and I was able to fit it in around whether that's homework, tests, hanging out with people, being social, sports, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's not like I had to clock in a 9 to 5. And
Mm-hmm.
I also have a passion for design. So it was kind of combining something that I did in my free time with money, which I like. So, getting paid to explore a hobby of mine and do it on my own schedule was a godsend for me, and I couldn't have been happier to be able to work it in between whatever I had going on at the time.
So how did you learn design? Did you learn in high school or was Campus Inc. a big factor? How did you get started with that?
So I learned in high school, but I'm more so self-taught. I was on my school magazine and I ended up running it by the end of my senior year. But I started as a sophomore, and then I was on exec team junior year, and then I was editor in chief senior year. But I made it on exec team after a year, which like isn't very common back home. And I'm not saying this to like brag
Where
or
are you
anything.
from?
It's just context. I'm from Antioch, Illinois. It's really small.
Okay. Where's
Uh,
that by?
it's literally on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin.
Oh, so are you by like Harvard?
Yeah, kind
Okay.
of
Okay.
farther north.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so I made it on exec team because when I came in as a sophomore to the program, I realized there were like no designers on the team,
Mm-hmm.
and the cutest girl in the class who was a senior was really good at design. So I was like, I want to hang out with her and also learn design. So she taught me how to do like page layout, which obviously isn't really the design we use for Campus Inc. Um, but so I learned like that was my building block was like magazine design and page layout and designing spreads and graphics for that. And then as I got older in high school and like deeper and deeper into the program, I wanted to learn more to kind of be more creative with those page designs. And there's less you can do in InDesign and more you can do in Illustrator. So
InDesign, it was definitely challenging. I had to make like
yeah,
150-page catalog for a class for that. It's not fun.
yeah. So like that's what I started with. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
I
So
mean, that's a good starting base because I always started with Illustrator, which I
right.
find the easiest.
Illustrator is a lot easier in my opinion, but it's
Mhm.
like Obviously I had to transition to that to do more graphic design based stuff. So everything I know on Illustrator is self-taught for the most part. And then Campus Ink kind of pushed me to learn Photoshop a little bit more. I'm by no means a whiz in that at all, but
Mm-hmm.
it does go in sometimes to some of my designs, and that I wouldn't have explored had I not been a part of the program.
So I am going to be a senior as well. And if I were to be asked this question, I wouldn't exactly know how to answer it, but where do you see yourself in a year?
Just like completely blanket or career-wise, anything.
Career wise, also like where would you like to live? What do
Yeah.
you want to be doing post grad?
Okay.
Any plans, wants,
Yeah.
desires?
Um, it sounds very superficial, but in terms of location, I'm kind of just gonna go wherever like a job takes me. I'm
Oh,
not
totally.
down anywhere, but like I just need a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
If my job wants me to go work out in San Francisco or Houston or stay in Chicago, wherever it is, like I'll make it work. You know what I mean? I'm a
Hmm.
social
So
person.
where are you located right now?
I'm in Evanston, which is like 40 minutes
Yeah.
north of the
My
city.
mom grew up in Evanston.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So is this
That's fun.
your like house or apartment?
Yes, this is my beautiful room in my apartment.
So
Welcome.
this is where you live during the school year too, correct?
Yeah, yeah. Normally I have a roommate, but he's working in Cincinnati, so it's just me at the moment.
Okay, very nice. But for a job, like what would be your dream job? What do you want to be doing?
Um, well, okay, so dream job, like long term, I would
Mhm,
love to either be like leading a creative marketing team, or like a creative advertising team, and kind
mhm.
of be involved in producing materials to sell stuff because I do really love sales. That's what I'm in right now, for my internship. But like post grad, like a year out, um, either in sales somewhere or at like an entry level marketing job. Because obviously, I'm not going to be a CMO after a year out of college. You know what I mean?
And it's very nice to have your design with you.
Exactly. It comes in handy.
What's your internship right now?
So I'm working for MetLife right now,
Okay.
in group benefits. So it's kind of a hybrid between sales and HR. I mean,
Is it
sales and PR. I'm
is
sorry.
it virtual or in Evanston?
Yeah, it's full virtual. My office is based out of the city, but everyone's from home. So
Okay. Well, at least you're near the city and not exactly at home, and you're still in Evanston. That's a great place to be.
yes, I can't complain. It's not the worst place to spend the summer.
How far are you from the lake?
5 minutes tops.
I love Evanston. Like I grew up in Hinsdale, and when I went to Evanston to see where my mom grew up, she grew up
Yeah.
like right on Sheridan Road, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why did I not grow up here?" Like all there is to do at home is like get food. When
Yep.
in Evanston, I would do anything to eat food on a lake.
Yeah, but having the lake fill is pretty convenient. Like anytime there's nothing to do, you just go, like put a hammock in between two trees and just
Mm-hmm.
there.
Wow,
Yeah,
very
it's pretty
nice.
nice. I won't lie.
How often do you come downtown?
It depends on the week. I would say at least 1 to 2 times a week, more so like going out downtown.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of, so like my older brother lives in Wrigleyville, so sometimes I'll go
Nice.
down and see him. Sometimes I'll go down for work. Sometimes
Where's your office downtown?
I actually don't know the exact address or area.
No, what area? Right?
South Loop. I,
Okay.
I
Okay.
want to say. I could be wrong though. I would say average twice a week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me.
Yeah,
And
sure.
it was so nice to get to know you and hear about your Campus Inc. experience.
Yeah. Did I answer all your questions? Is there anything else you want
Hopefully.
to know?
No, is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. Good question. As a journalism major, that's like that's the key at the end of the interview. Is there anything I didn't ask? That's what you always
Good.
ask.
Perfect.
Cool.
Glad I did well.
Yeah.
But I will be making an Instagram post for you and a blog. So get ready for that.
Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to text or call me or whatever. I can answer.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jason.